Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview. We'll start with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नितिनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. So yesterday last time we had completed the 17th chapter of this third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the pastime which is going on is the discussion between the Maitreya Muni and Vidura. So Vidura, he asked so many questions to Maitreya. In response to the questions, Maitreya Muni, first of all, he described the primary creation by Lord Vishnu, then secondary creation by Brahmaji, and then ultimately at the end he said that Brahmaji created all the devatas, then he created all the Vedas and the Upavedas, he created the sages, and then he created Swayambhuva Manu and Shatarupa. And the progeny of Swayambhuva Manu and Shatarupa are Uttanapad, Priyavrata, and Devahuti, Akuti, and Prasuti. And then after that, Vidura, he asks, after Swayambhuva Manu, he agreed to follow the instructions of Brahmaji to procreate, what happened? So then Brahmaji say that Maitreya Muni describes that when Swayambhuva Manu, he approached Brahmaji and he asked, I am ready to serve you, please, but there is one problem. Earth is not there. The whole Bhumandal is missing. Where will I populate? Please give me some place, retrieve the earth. So then in response to that, Brahmaji, he is thinking, then Varahadev comes from his nostril and he takes a huge form. He ultimately retrieves Mother Earth, Bhumandala, and that is the description of Swayambhuva Manvantara, that is a Shweta Varaha. In continuation of that, Maitreya Muni describes about another Varahadev who appeared in the 6th Manvantara, that is Chakshusha Manvantara, and that is called the Nila Varaha. In that incarnation, Varahadev lifted Mother Earth and he also killed Hiranyaksha. So in response to that, Vidura asked Maitreya, why there was a fight between Varahadev and Hiranyaksha? So then in response to this, Maitreya Muni starts the whole description that how this Diti and Kashyapa, they united at a wrong time, in spite of Kashyapa telling Diti that this is a wrong, inauspicious time, you should not do this. And then, and actually before that, the whole story of the curse of Jay and Vijay was described. They became the sons of the Diti when Diti conceived from the Kashyapa Muni at the wrong time, and that is how Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu was born. And we discussed last time that Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they were so very powerful that they conquered all the universe. Hiranyakashipu's austerities will be described in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we discussed that Hiranyaksha, he was also equally powerful. He conquered all the upper planetary systems. He dived in the ocean because he was hankering to fight. He was eager to fight. He was searching, but there was nobody who was equivalent to him in fight. He went to Vibhavari, that is the uh, capital of Varunadev, and he made a fun of Varunadev. Oh, you are so great, please give me a battle, And in response to this, he asked so many things. He said, please give me a battle. You are the guardian of entire sphere. You are a great ruler. Please give me a battle. Varunadev, he became so disgusted. He did not want to fight with him. So he said, I am an old man. I have desisted from fighting now. You are so much arrogant. You are so proud. If you want to fight, Lord Vishnu has taken incarnation as Varahadev. Go and fight with him. He will fulfill all your desires, and ultimately you will be lying on the ground surrounded by dogs. When Hiranyaksha, he heard, instead of becoming fearful, he became happy, because he ultimately found somebody with whom he could fight. So then he was searching. He neglected all the warnings of Varuna. He was searching, where is Varaha? Where is Lord Vishnu who has incarnated? So he entered the Garbhodak ocean. And as he entered the Garbhodak ocean, he was searching all around, where is Varaha? Where is Supreme Lord? And then Varahadev, as he was, lifting Mother Earth from the innermost recesses of Garbhodak ocean, this Hiranyaksha, he found Varahadev, and he started giving all abuses to Lord Varaha. And in this slide, you can see there are so many criticisms which were made by Hiranyaksha on Varahadev. He says, you are one Gochara. That means you are a resident of a forest, He's giving all the abuses to Varahadev. You are a resident of a forest. What are you doing here? But actually, whenever a demon is giving all the abuses to Lord, our acharyas, they give a different understanding, how it is a praise for the Lord. So Chakravarti Thakur says, one Gocharo Mriga means a living being in the water as well as the beast living in the forest. So what Hiranyaksha is saying, that you are one Gochara means you are residing on the water. That means you are a Narayan, you are lying on the water. And then he says you are Mriga, you are an animal. Chakravarti Thakur says, no, actually Mriga means the person who is sought after, just like Mriga means to search. So he's saying you are sought after by great sages. The great sages, they are searching for you and they are doing lots of tapasya. Then Hiranyaksha says, you are a fool. You are a lowest among all the devatas. This earth is entrusted to us. We are the proprietor of this earth, and you cannot take this earth from our presence and not hurt by us. You have to fight with me. That's what he's saying. So Chakravarti Thakur says, actually, he's calling Varahadev as a fool, Agya. But actually, the actual meaning is, there is no knowledge which is unknown to you. You are supremely knowledgeable, therefore there is no knowledge which is unknown to you. He says you are Suradhama. Suradhama means you are lowest among the devatas. But actually Chakravarti Thakur says, actually you are the lord of all the devatas. Sura Dhamma, he does the Visarga, Sandhi Vicheda in a different way. You are the lord of all the devatas, therefore you are the best of all the devatas, And then he says that in my presence you will not be able to take it. Chakravarti Thakur says that actually Hiranyaksha is saying, in spite of my presence, you will take this earth away. So, and then he says, you cannot go without being hurt. Actually, what Hiranyaksha is saying, kindly take this earth from our custody, because there can be no good fortune on us if we are taking earth with us. And then actually he says that, rascal, you have killed demons by remaining invisible. Oh fool, today I'll enliven my kinsmen by killing you. That's what Hiranyaksha says. Chakravarti Thakur says, actually, what Hiranyaksha is saying, you can kill this process of birth and death. You have killed so many demons, but actually you can kill this process of birth and death also. And therefore, I am so much aggrieved because my kinsmen are killed. But Chakravarti Thakur says, actually what he's saying, you can remove all the suffering because you are the Lord of Yogamaya. So that is what all the abuses which were told by Hiranyaksha, Chakravarti Thakur says they are glorification of the Lord. So when Lord heard all these abuses, he was actually very pained. He is also a person. Lord is also a person. When people, they give all the abuses to Lord, Lord also feels pain. But actually now what Varahadev was doing, he was lifting Mother Earth. So when Mother Earth, she saw Hiranyaksha, Mother Earth became afraid. She became frightened. So to give solace to Mother Earth, Lord Varahadev, he tolerated all the pain. And he lifted Mother Earth, he took out of the ocean, and then he made that Bhumandala, he put that Bhumandala on water, and he gave the ability to float to Mother Earth. So Lord is satisfied by prayers, and he is dissatisfied if somebody derides him. So many times we underestimate the power of prayers. Prayers are so very powerful. Lord incarnates in this world as an Archa Vigraha only for one reason, to reciprocate with our prayers. If we are not taking the advantage of the Lord and we are not praying from our heart, then we are missing a very, very important part of our Krishna consciousness. Prayer, Vandanam, is a very, very important part of a devotee's life. So that is why Lord is there in this world. That's why Lord incarnates as Archa Vigraha. We have to offer our heartfelt prayers, especially in this situation, this very difficult situation. We have to pray for everyone. We have to pray for other devotees. We have to pray for our family members, of course, and then relatives, and then devotee community in all the whole world. Because when Krishna, he sees that this person is praying selflessly, this person is praying for others. Actually, that is the time when Krishna sees who is this person who is praying for others. Generally in this world, everybody prays for themselves. There's no big deal when you are praying for ourselves. But when we pray for others, actually that time Krishna takes a note. He likes to see who is this person who is praying for others. And that is the time we get maximum blessings, maximum mercy of the Lord. So therefore, this is a very, very important time where we can make maximum advancement when we pray for others. Because when somebody is in greatest need, that time when we pray to the Lord, Lord actually recognizes. Lord actually accepts our prayers, helps that devotee also, and on top of that, we get the benefit the most, Because bhakti does not get destroyed. Nobody gets the devotional credits does not get minimized by this prayer. If I am praying for other person, my devotional credit will go down. No, actually it is the other way around. So there are many components of prayers. First of all, when we go in front of the Lord, we have to glorify the Lord. Glorify the Lord for his beautiful qualities. After that, we have to submit our fallen condition. Dainya Bodhika. First is Samprarthanatmika, glorifying the Lord for his beautiful qualities. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Premar Padayate. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu. Offer beautiful prayers. All the scriptures are filled with beautiful prayers by various devotees. Memorize them, recite them in front of the Lord. If you cannot memorize them, no problem. Some people say, "Arey Prabhuji, recite sloka yaad karna is the most difficult thing for me. Uske alawa kuch bhi bolna, I'm ready. Don't tell me to memorize verses. But actually, even if you don't memorize verses, that's not a problem. Krishna is not pleased by memorization of verses. Krishna is pleased by your heartfelt offerings. You pray to the Lord, you glorify the Lord in whatever language you want. But glorification is important. Then you submit our fallen condition. Oh my Lord, I am so fallen, I am full of anarthas. And then you pray First we pray for others, when we pray for others, actually Krishna takes a note, and then we pray for ourselves also. Even if we are praying for ourselves, we have to put more focus on asking for the positive things. Many times, the most of the part of our prayer is, please free me from this lust, anger, greed, all these anarthas are too much. But we forget to ask about the positive things: taste for bhakti, taste for chanting, taste for hearing, the appreciation for the devotees. These are the things which are to be asked first. Because if these things come in our life, automatically these anarthas will go away. For Krishna, to remove anarthas is not a big thing. So we have to ask for the removal, ask for the positive things, ask for the taste in bhakti, taste in chanting, taste for hearing Bhagavatam. And then of course, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitam Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahetukam. And bhakti rises in the heart, automatically all this, Jnana and Vairagya comes, all the knowledge comes, we naturally become detached from the material world. Because that is a very wonderful benefit a devotee has. If a devotee is connected to Krishna consciousness, if somehow he wants to go away, Krishna will never allow the devotee to go away. Sei bhakta dhanya jena chhade prabhur charan, sei prabhu dhanya jena chhade nij jan, durdaiva sevaka jadi jaye anya sthane, sei prabhu dhanya tare chule dhariyane. That Lord is great who never leaves his devotees, that devotee is great who never leaves the Lord. By chance, by mistake, because of the conditionings, if a devotee goes away, Krishna brings him back catching his shikha. So therefore Lord is eager to receive our prayers. Lord has everything in this world. There is one thing which Lord does not have. That is our free will. Free will is ours. Rest everything is Krishna's. So Krishna wants us to offer our free will in the form of our heartfelt prayers. Lord becomes satisfied when we offer prayers. But when we deride the Lord becomes unhappy. That's what happened here. Lord was pained by the abusive words of Hiranyaksha. But he bore that pain and he put that Mother Earth on the water. The demon, Hiranyaksha continued. He said, there is nothing reproachable for the shameless creatures like you. Chakravarti Thakur says, actually, Hiranyaksha is talking about himself. He's saying, I am such a shameless person. I am criticizing you. So then after Lord put that Mother Earth on the water, he became very angry. And he became angry also, and he was laughing also. So Chakravarti Thakur says, why he was laughing? He was angry because of the abuses, but he was laughing because Lord was also thinking about all these, glorification, indirect glorification which Hiranyaksha is doing. Lord was also smiling. So now Lord replies. He says, yes, indeed, Satyam Vayambho Van Gocharo Mriga Yushmad Vidhan Mrigaye Grama Simhan. He says, it is true, indeed, we are the creatures of jungle. One Gocharo Mriga. So Lord is saying, indeed, we are the creatures of jungle. We are searching after hunting dogs like you. Chakravarti Thakur says, Lord has a different meaning altogether. He says, Lord is saying, I am one Gochara Mriga. He says, actually, one Gochara means the sages, they leave everything and go to forest. They are one Gochar. I am searching for my devotees who have given up all material enjoyment. I am searching for them. I search out these devotees and I cut off all their material attachments. And then I bring them to me, So then, Lord says, certainly we have stolen the charge of the inhabitants of Rasatal, because Lord is lifting Mother Earth. So he's saying, certainly we are stealing Mother Earth from the inhabitants of Rasatal. We have lost all our fame. Actually, Chakravarti Thakur says, Lord is saying, actually, I am receiving the offerings made with devotion, even from the demons. Lord is remembering this. Just see this demon, he was my devotee, He is giving me offering of earth. So that's how, he's saying my heart is melting. My heart is melting because you are glorifying me, So the word is used gadaya. So actually, Varahadev says, although bitten by your powerful mace, I'll stay here for a long time. Chakravarti Thakur is actually what Lord is saying. I am bitten means drava, dravita. Chakravarti Thakur says actually what Lord is saying, you have melted my heart with the words of your praise. Words means gadaya. So that is how, all the glorifications, all the words which are spoken by the Lord, they have a different meaning which acharyas they can, find out. Lord says, give up all your foolish talk, wipe out all the cares of your kith and kin by slaying us. He's saying, all your relatives, they have become so much troubled. Just kill me, you will be able to wipe the tears of your relatives. Actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, what Lord is saying, you are so much filled with prema, you are so much in ecstasy, you are giving me so much happiness in fighting, you are in bliss. That's why your tears are coming out of ecstasy. So that is what Chakravarti Thakur says. Now, enough of the talk, Now the demon, now Varahadev challenged Hiranyaksha. Now the fighting ensued. Very thriller fight, The demon challenged Varahadev, and this demon Hiranyaksha, he was hissing like a cobra. He sprang at the Lord and attacked the Lord with his mace, and the Lord, he dodged and he, escaped that attack. And then Lord attacked the demon and he hit the Varahadev, hit the Hiranyaksha on his eyebrow with his mace. And there was huge fighting. Both were hitting each other. Both were having lots of injuries. They were fighting like two bulls when they fight for a cow, because both Varaha and Hiranyaksha, they are fighting for Mother Earth. As all this fighting is going on, Brahmaji and all the Devatas, they become disturbed. Kab tak chalega? Evening is approaching, because in the evening time, the demons, they become more powerful. So Brahmaji comes and he requests the Lord, oh my Lord, this demon is an offender of Brahmanas, devotees, cows. He has killed so many sinless beings. Please, there is no need to play with him. Don't play with the serpentine demon. We should not play with snakes. Please kill him immediately. The time of evening is approaching. There is a very auspicious nakshatra called Abhijit. The Abhijit nakshatra is about to end now. Please kill him. Otherwise, he'll become very powerful. So this is the end of the 18th chapter. And now 19th chapter also is entitled as the killing of demon Hiranyaksha. So when Lord, he heard the prayers of Brahmaji, he smiled. He smiled at the prayer of Brahmaji and accepted that prayer with love and devotion. Now, Lord again took his mace and he aimed that mace at the chin of Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha, he became very angry. He also attacked the Lord with his mace. And when Hiranyaksha, he attacked the Lord with his mace, Varahadev's mace fell down from his hand. And it fell down whirling. And Hiranyaksha, because he was also Kshatriya, so he did not attack the Lord, because that is a law. In the single combat, if the opponent does not have a weapon, he should not attack. So Hiranyaksha, he did not attack. And there was a huge uproar amongst all the Devatas. All the Devatas, they started crying, oh my God, Supreme Lord Varahadev's mace has fallen down. So they became very worried. So when Varahadev, he saw that Hiranyaksha is showing mercy to me, he became very angry. He invoked this Sudarshan Chakra. And when Hiranyaksha, he saw the Sudarshan, he became all the more angry, and then he sprang in the air and he aimed his mace at the Lord, and he said, now you are slain, now you will be killed. Lord became all the more angry. He effortlessly, knocked down the mace just like, an ordinary weapon. And he said, just take another weapon. Now Lord is saying, just take another weapon, try again. Or ek baar try karo. demon, Hiranyaksha became all the more angry. He again attacked the Lord, and then he attacked the Lord again with the mace. Lord caught hold of that mace, just like a Garuda seizes a serpent. Just like Garuda, very casually he catches a serpent. Varaha Devi caught hold of the mace which was thrown by Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha felt very humiliated, and Lord offered his gada back. Dobara try karo. So Hiranyaksha became reluctant. He did not take the gada back, and he started hitting the Varahadev with his fist. So Lord also attacked in the same way. He was also striking the Hiranyaksha. When Hiranyaksha, he was hitting the Lord with his fists, Supreme Lord was not feeling any pain. It was like an elephant being struck by a garland, just like very, very nice feeling. When Hiranyaksha, he saw that nothing is working on Varahadev, he started creating all the illusions. Fierce winds started blowing, and there were stones falling from the sky, and there was rain of pus, mucus, stool, urine, and all the obnoxious things. Naked demonesses, they appear in the sky with tridents and all their hair scattered, and all the Rakshasas and Pisachas, they were shouting all the violent slogans, and everything, all the inauspicious things were appearing. Lord invoked Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan means that which removes all the ignorance. So when the Sudarshan was invoked, all these illusions which were created by Hiranyaksha were immediately dispelled. That is the Sudarshan, So that Sudarshan for a devotee is the scriptures, So when we read scriptures regularly, we are in contact, in touch with the scriptures, all our illusions will be dispelled. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes, Kaviraj Goswami says that we should never be lazy in understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Krishna Bhakti Siddhanta, if you want to understand, you should not be lazy. If you are lazy, you will not develop intense, unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord. Regularly, we have to read the scriptures, bathe our mind and intelligence every day with this philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Marga babu sandigdha trinechanna hi samskrita na abhyasyamana shrutayo dujai kalena chahata. If you are not reading Bhagavad Gita, if you are not reading Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita every day, example is given just like in the forest, in the village, there is a forest path which is created by walking. Between the two fields, there is a pagdandi. Because people are walking every day, there is a path which is created. In the rainy season, nobody walks. All the weeds and the grasses, they cover the path. Similarly, if you are not reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita every day, our mind will be covered with illusions and doubts. So therefore, this chakra, this Sudarshan, we have to invoke in our lives. This is what is given by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is very, very heavy. If devotees would not read books, he would be very heavy. Therefore, Prabhupada has spent his whole life, sleepless nights in writing these books. It is our duty, responsibility to read these books every day. So as Sudarshan Chakra was invoked, all the illusions were dispelled. Now, Diti, the mother of Hiranyaksha, she started, fearing. She started experiencing all the ill omens. The blood started coming out from his breasts, and she understood that there must be some very, very inauspicious thing which is about to happen. Hiranyaksha, he tried to squeeze the Lord with his hands, but the Lord, he was, nobody could catch the Lord. He is beyond the scope of all the yogis to catch. So how can a demon catch him? He was out of the grip. And just this is a climax now. How Lord killed him. It is a very, very humorous way how Lord killed him. He just slapped Hiranyaksha at the root of his ear, very gently he tapped him. So, and he completely, his body started wheeling, eyes bulged out, and then all the arms and the legs were broken, and he fell down scattered like a broken tree. So somebody was, sir, itna jhagda karne ke baad just a tap, that is sufficient. That is how Lord is. Actually, Lord could have killed that demon immediately. But what is the purpose of the Jay and Vijay to incarnate, to appear in this world? To give pleasure to the Lord in fight. That was the whole purpose, Veer Ras. So Lord was reciprocating with his devotee in that Veer Ras for so long time. And then this Hiranyaksha was killed. All the Brahmaji, all the Devatas and Brahmaji, they offered all the prayers. Devatas started showering flowers. They said, who could be blessed? Actually, Brahmaji, he's glorifying Hiranyaksha. Like, kya bhagya iska, ऐसा भाग्य तो किसी का भी नहीं है. अरे, he is touched by the lotus feet of the Lord. Yogis are meditating for years to get this favor. They are not getting. In the case of Putana also, Putana, she was getting constant touch of the feet of the Lord. Krishna was tightly, catching Putana's body with his feet. She was so very fortunate. Putana loka balagni rakshashi rudirasana jigam sayapi hariye stanam dattva pasadgatim yatudhanyapi sa swargam avapajanani gatim Krishna bhukta stanakshira kimugavo namatara. She was a demoness, she was a witch, she was used to killing children, but she came to feed Krishna milk. Although she wanted to kill him, Krishna took that good part. And all the devatas, they were appreciating the fortune of Putana. Putana is getting the touch of the feet of the Lord. Putana is trying to, take Krishna away from her body. She's saying, leave me, muncha, muncha, leave me, oh child, leave me. But that is a bhagya of Putana. Putana is saying, chhod do mere ko. Krishna is not leaving him. That is how Krishna is. एक बार पकड़ लेते हैं किसी को छोड़ते नहीं है. So that's how when we come to Krishna consciousness, all our material aspirations are gone. We cannot enjoy now. Even if we try, Krishna will not allow it. And if all of us must have experienced this in our beginning days of Krishna consciousness, when we hear about Krishna and then we want to do sense gratification, all the lectures go in full blast. What are you doing, oh rascal? You have heard so many lectures, but still you are doing it. We cannot enjoy now. That is how Krishna is. Krishna never leaves his devotees. So that is how all the devatas, Brahmaji, he is glorifying. Then Brahmaji says, these two assistants, these two people, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they were assistants of the Lord. They are cursed by 4 Kumaras, and that's why they have come here. Demigods, they all praised the Lord for his wonderful feat. And then Maitreya Muni, now the discussion, we should know what is going on. This is a discussion between Maitreya and Vidura. So Maitreya is saying, and then after that, Varahadev, he went back to his abode, and then he's telling to Vidura, oh Vidura, I have explained you this pastime of Varahadev as I heard from my Guru. And then again the camera shifts from Maitreya Vidur Samvad to Sut Goswami and Shaunak Rishi. So now that is the beginning, that is the initial. The conversation between Suta Goswami and Shaunak Rishi is going on. Shaunak Rishi asks, Are first canto you told about Vidura and Maitreya Samvad. Please tell us about that. That's how Maitreya Vidura Samvad started. Now Sut Goswami is speaking. When Vidura, he heard this transcendental narration of Varahadev killing Hiranyaksha, he felt a transcendental bliss. And then Sut Goswami glorifies Krishna Katha. He says this Krishna Katha, and he actually glorifies Krishna Katha and he glorifies Vaishnava Katha. He says actually people should take pleasure in both Krishna Katha and Vaishnava Katha. Vaishnava Katha is equally potent as Krishna Katha. And therefore, if somebody is speaking the Vaishnava Katha, it is as good as speaking Krishna Katha. Because Vaishnavas are great devotees of the Lord. When Vaishnavas are glorified, Krishna becomes pleased. Another verse we have heard discussed where it is described, Shrutasya pumsam shuchirashramasya nanmanjasa suribhiridito arthaha tat tadgunano shravanam mukunda padaravindam hridayeshu yesham. So there it is described that those who endeavor to hear from the spiritual masters, they should hear about the glorious activities of the pure devotees of the Lord. Because These devotees of the Lord, they have lotus feet of the Lord in their hearts. And then Sud Goswami speaks a very wonderful verse. He says, Tam sukharadhyam rijubhir ananya sharanairnibhir kritagya kona seveta duraradhyam asadubhi. He says, Tam sukharadhyam rijubhir. Lord can be easily pleased by whom? Ananya Sharanair. Lord can be easily pleased by the spotless devotees who have resorted exclusively unto the Supreme Lord for their protection. Therefore, the devotees are always grateful to Krishna. Kritagya kona seveta. Who will be that grateful soul who will not render service to Krishna? Duraradhyam asadubhi. If somebody is a sadhu, if somebody is unrighteous person, he can only not serve Krishna. So therefore, the greatest act of gratitude we can show towards the Lord is to serve the Lord, to serve the devotees of the Lord. So therefore, after describing the whole story, whole the pastime, now Ashut Goswami is giving the Falashruti, इतना सब कथा सुन लिया, उसका फल क्या है? Now he's saying, so what we have got, he says, anyone who hears, chants and takes pleasure in this narration of Varahadev, he'll be free, killing this Hiranyaksh, he'll be free from all the sins, even from the sin of killing a Brahmana. And then he says, this conversation is supremely pure. Etan Mahapunyam Alam Pavitram. It is Mahapunyam, very pure narration. Dhanyam, it is the wealth of the devotees. The pastimes of the Lord, they are the wealth of the devotees. Devotees are not interested in any other treasure than to hear the pastimes of Lord. That is their greatest wealth. It is Yashasam. It gives all the fame. Ayur Ashisham, it increases the Ayu. Pranendriyanam, it nourishes the life and the air. Shaurya Vardhanam, it increases the prowess of a person who hears that. And ultimately, Narayane Ante Gatim. This wonderful narration can grant the supreme destination in the spiritual world. So this is the end of the 19th chapter, where the story of Hiranyaksha and Varahadev is described. Then after that, again, the conversation between Maitreya and Vidura continues. So the link is, the secondary creation was described by Maitreya in detail in the 12th chapter. Here again, Maitreya Muni describes in brief the creation which was done by Brahmaji, because he wants to relate this creation to Swayambhuva Manu. So Shaunak Rishi, he is asking to Sut Goswami that after the earth was put into orbit by Varahadev, now, because that was the initial question, Swayambhuva Manu said, I am ready to procreate, but earth is missing. Please retrieve the earth. So now earth was again back in the position. So now Shaunak Rishi is asking, what did Swayambhuva Manu do to show the path of liberation for all the living entities? They glorify Vidura. So Shaunak Rishi is glorifying Vidura. He is saying that Vidura, he was such a great devotee of the Lord. He was a friend of the Lord. He gave the company of his elder brother. He gave up the company of his elder brother Dhritarashtra, who was so very sinful. He accepted the feet of Lord Krishna. He went to all the places of pilgrimage. Please tell us, what did he inquire more from Maitreya Muni? He says there must have been Harikatha. Harikatha hi hua hoga, aur kya hua rahega, If Maitreya is asking Vidura, if Vidura is asking Maitreya, what must be the topic of discussion? Harikatha. So please tell us what more topics were discussed between Maitreya and Vidura, because Harikatha is very pure. It is like the Ganga, purifies all the sinful activity, So he says, please narrate all these pastimes. These narrations of Krishna, they are so very pure. Nobody can stop hearing the narrations of Krishna. Nobody can become satiated. This theme comes again and again in Bhagavatam. Nobody can become satisfied hearing Krishna Katha. Ko nama tripyet rasavit kathayam mahattamekant parayanasya harerudaram charitam vishuddham shushrushatam no vitanotu vidwan. So these are saying, Are, who can be satisfied hearing Krishna Katha? Ko nama tripyet rasavit. Those who know the rasa, those who know the mellows of devotion, they will not be satiated in hearing Krishna Katha. So therefore, after all the sages, they glorified Vidura and they asked further. Sut Goswami now replies. Vidura, he inquired about the creation of Brahmaji. He said, he asked that, he asked Maitreya that, O great sage, please tell us, what did Brahmaji do to create all the living entities? So then he asks, how did Swayambhuva Manu and Marichi and all the Prajapatis they created? How did this universe evolve? And did the Prajapatis they created this universe and all the species independently or with their wives, or their wives created? What all happened actually? Independently they created or jointly they produced it? How it all happened? So that is what Vidura asked. So then after this, Maitreya, he summarizes the whole Sarga and Visarga again. So he says that how this Mahatattva, Supreme Lord, was lying in the Karanodaka ocean as a Karanodakshaya Vishnu, then all the Dravya was coming out from the pores, and then that transformed into Mahatattva because the glance of the Lord fell on it. The glance of the Lord impregnated that Dravya with Jiva, Kala, Karma and Swabhava, transformed into Pradhana. Then Pradhana became Mahatattva, and the Mahatattva became Ahankar. And from Ahankar, all the 5 gross elements and the 5 Tanmatras and the 10 senses, and then all the sense devatas, they all were created. And then they all amalgamated by the cohesive energy of the Lord, that is called Bibhrata Shakti. This whole universe was formed as a shell. In that universe, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu entered. He filled the entire universe with this water of the perspiration, and then he was lying on that. Then ultimately, lotus came from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and then on that lotus, Brahmaji took birth. And then Brahmaji, he created all this Visarga again. So this whole chapter describes the Visarga which was created by Brahmaji. So then Brahmaji, first of all, we discussed that Brahmaji created the 5 types of ignorance, and after creating this ignorance, Brahmaji became very disgusted. Oh, what have I created? He became very disgusted with that creation. So he gave up that mentality of ignorance, creation of ignorance, and then that mentality was taken by the yakshas and the rakshasas, and they became so very powerful, and that actually mentality became the night. So this night, and these yakshas and rakshasas in the night, they became hungry and thirsty. They ran towards Brahmaji to eat him. So Brahmaji had to run in fear. And then he said, I am your father, I have created you and you are coming to eat me? Then he convinced all of them. Then again from his buttocks he created the demons. And after creating the demons, Brahmaji again became disgusted with that creation. He gave up that mentality. So again and again it is described, he gave up that body. So actually Brahmaji did not give up his body, he gave up that mentality. That mentality became twilight. And this twilight increased the sexual desires of these demons. The demons, they started chasing Brahmaji to have sex with Brahmaji. Brahmaji became all the more disgusted. He started running from the demons. He prayed to the Supreme Lord, please protect me. These demons, they are chasing me. Lord appeared. He said, cast off this body of yours. Then Brahmaji gave up this body. So this body, Prabhupada clarifies that this body is the sinful mentality, because whatever is the mind is also subtle body. So Lord told Brahmaji, give up your sinful mentality. Prabhupada in the purport elaborates that when male and female, when men and women unite, the mentality which they have attract a particular type of soul. So therefore, if men and women, they procreate, husband, wife, they procreate in a proper consciousness, then right pious souls are attracted to the womb. Otherwise, sinful souls are attracted, just like what happened in the case of Diti and Kashyapa Muni. And then all the demons, they became attracted towards this twilight, because and they were thinking that this twilight is a form of girl, and then they were glorifying this beauty of the girl. And then after that, Brahmaji created the Apsaras and the Gandharvas by his beauty. And then he gave up that mentality. That mentality became the moonlight. And then ultimately he created so many things. He created Bhutas and Pishachas out of laziness. And then he created the Pitris and the Sadhyas, and then Siddhas and the Vidyadharas. And as you can see in this slide, all these things are created. So then after that, from various parts of this body, Brahmaji created the sages. He's created the sages from his own body, and he gave these sages samadhi, yoga, riddhi, tapa, vidya, and virakti. So these sages, they were awarded all these different characteristics: deep meditation, concentration, supernatural power, austerity. So this is the whole, this 20th chapter. So in this third canto, 10th chapter, 12th chapter, and 20th chapter, sometimes the events of this secondary creation, the Visarga means the creation which is done by Brahmaji, they are not described in proper sequence. Somewhere it comes in sequence, pehle kaun hua, baad mein kaun hua, what is the actual sequence, Brahmaji created what first. So Chakravarti Thakur, he gives the actual sequence. First of all, Brahmaji created animals with 5 joints. Then after that, Brahmaji created trees and the plants. After that, he created snakes. After that, he created cows and buffaloes. Then yakshas, rakshasas, kinnaras and kimpurushas. After that, he created Manu and the humans. That is some details of the secondary creation. Then after this, so 20th chapter ends here. Now 21st chapter is the conversation between Manu and Kardama. So this chapter is describing the dynasty of Swayambhuva Manu. So Vidura, he is inquiring about the dynasty of Swayambhuva Manu. So he asks Maitreya that please describe the glorious dynasty of Swayambhuva Manu. So as you can see in this slide, that Swayambhuva Manu has 3 daughters and 2 sons. So 3 daughters were Devahuti, Akuti, and Prasuti, and 2 sons were Uttanpad and Priyavrat Maharaj. So all these characters, 5 characters, they are described in various cantos. So the description of Devahuti will come now. So the rest of the 3rd canto is the description of the marriage between Devahuti and Kardam Muni, and the teachings which the Lord Kapila Dev gave to Devahuti. And then this story of Akuti will come in the 4th canto. Then Prasuti, who is married to Daksha. That story will come in the 4th canto again, first to 7 chapters as Daksha Yagya. Then the story of Uttanpad will come in the 4th canto again, the story of Dhruv Maharaj, Prithu, Prachina Bhari, and all that. And then Priyavrat Maharaj's story will come in the 5th canto. So this Vidura is asking Maitreya Muni, please describe the glorious dynasty of Swayambhuva Manu. How did Priyavrat Maharaj and Uttanpad protect this earth with all the 7 continents? So earth means not this earth planet, our earth. No. This earth is Bhumandala. Bhumandala also has 7 continents and 7 oceans. That was created by Priyavrat Maharaj. Priyavrat Maharaj, with his chariot, he created 7 oceans and 7 continents. That description we'll hear in the 5th canto. So then Vidura asks that please describe about the famous daughter of Manu, Devahuti. she got married to Kardama. How many offsprings that Kardam Muni begot through Devahuti? Please tell me all that. Please tell me how this Ruchi and Daksha generated children. Because Ruchi and Daksha, they got married to two daughters of Swayambhuva Manu. Ruchi got married to, Ruchi is a, sage, is a king. The Ruchi got married to Akuti. Daksha got married to Prasuti. So he's asking about all that. सबके बारे में पूछ रहे हैं. Kardam, Devahuti, what is the story of Devahuti and Akuti, Prasuti, सबके बारे में पूछ लिया. So now Maitreya, he starts the answer by first describing the descendants of Devahuti and Kardama. So now the story about Kardam Muni starts. So Kardam Muni, we have heard that Brahmaji created one of the 10 sages, and one of them was Kardam Muni. Kardam Muni, he was commanded by Brahma. Brahmaji told Kardam Muni that you do austerity and you procreate, you produce progeny. So Kardam Muni was doing tapasya for 10,000 years. So Lord became very pleased with him and he showed his beautiful form to Kardam Rishi. And when Kardam Muni, he got darshan of the Lord, he became very, very happy. And the beautiful description of the form of the Lord is given. Lord was looking like a effulgent sun. He had a beautiful garland and he was wearing a effulgent yellow cloth, silk garments, and he had a beautiful lotus face. Lord is glorified as Pankajanabhaya, as Kunti Maharani also says, Nama Pankajanabhaya, Nama Pankajamaline, Nama Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangre. Lord has a beautiful locks of hair around his face. He was wearing a crown and the earrings and Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, everything was there. He had a Shrivats. And Lord was smiling very affectionately at Kardam Muni. So Lord smiles is the most wonderful thing, most beautiful thing in the entire creation. Chandrika Vishadasmerai Sarunapang Vikshitaihi Swakarthanam Ivarajaha Sattwabhyam Srishtipalakaihi. Chandrika Vishada. When Lord glances on the devotees, that glance of the Lord creates the desire to serve. And when the Lord smiles on the devotees, that smiles removes all the distress which is there in the heart of the devotee. So when Kardam Muni gets the darshan of the Lord, he goes into ecstasy, he stands in the air and he offers the full obeisances to the Lord. He becomes very joyful. And then he folds his hands, he starts offering beautiful, beautiful prayers to the Lord. He says that, oh my Lord, perfection of the eyes is to see you. Yogis, they are doing tapasya for thousands of years, but they are not getting a chance to see you. Less intelligent people, they desire material things, but you are so kind that you bestow upon them that material object also. That's how Lord is. People, they think, many times people, they don't become devotees of Krishna. They become fearful. Arey, inke paas jayenge, kuch milta nahi hai. Just see the devotees of Lord Shiva, they are so rich. Devotees of Krishna, they are not so rich. Many times they are beggars. Actually, devotees, they want to become beggars. Gopis, they say that Yadanucharita Leela Karna Piyusha Viprut Sakrit Adan Vidhuta Dvandva Dharma Vinashta Sapadigrih Kutumbam Dina Mutsrijya Dina Bahava Iha Vihanga Bhikshucharyam Charanti. So Gopis are telling Yad Anucharita Leela, whoever hears the glories of Krishna, Karna Piyusha, through their ears, when they drink this nectar of the glorious pastimes and the beauty of Krishna, what happens to them? What is their destination? They become wretched themselves and they give up their wretched family. And they say, there are many sages, there are many beggars roaming around in Vrindavan searching for Krishna. It seems that when you go to Vrindavan now, in the innermost villages of Vrindavan, just like in Barsana and all, you will find many people just roaming like beggars. And you ask them, you'll find them, they are big, big people. It seems that the same story must be happening that time also. Gopis are saying, arey, many people have left their families and they are roaming like beggars in Vrindavan. That's why many times very few people, they come to Krishna. नहीं इनके पास जाएंगे तो सब चले जाएगा बाबा, कुछ मिलता तो है नहीं, कुछ देते नहीं है और सब ले लेते हैं. He is called Hari, हर लेते हैं सब. But actually Krishna is so very merciful. If he wants something material, Krishna will give. But there is a difference. When Krishna gives something, it has a different effect. Satyam dishatyarthamarthito nrinam naivarthado yat punararthitam yatah swayam vidhatte bhajatam anichchatam ichhapi dhanam nijapada pallavam. It is true, Satyam arthitam arthito nrinam. If somebody wants something, Krishna will give him that. Famous example is Dhruva. Dhruva wanted kingdom greater than his great grandfather. Krishna gave him, but there is a difference. Naivartha doyat punararthitam yatah. Krishna will give in such a way that the devotee will not ask for the same thing again. Dobara mangega hi nahi. You know how this will happen? Swayam vidhatte bhajatam anichchatam. Krishna gives himself to his devotee. Devotee says, I don't want you. I wanted this. Krishna said, don't worry, combined package hai, combo pack. Ek ke saath ek free. I come with this package free of cost. And when Krishna enters the lives of devotees, what happens? Ichha pidhanam nijapad pallavam. The lotus feet of the Lord, they are desire fulfilling tree. They can fulfill all the desires of the devotee, and devotee does not desire for anything else. Krishna kohe ama bhaje mage vishay sukh amrita chhade vishya mage ei bada murkh. Krishna is saying, अरे मेरा भजन कर रहा है, क्या मांग रहा है? विषय सुख. अरे I will not give him विषय सुख. ei bada मूर्ख, he is foolish. आमी विज्ञाई मूर्ख विषय के न दीबा स्वचरणामृत दिया विषय भुलाइबा. He is fool, but I am intelligent. I will not give him sense gratification. I will give him my charanamrit. I will give him my mercy. He will forget all sense gratification. So Kardamuni is saying, less intelligent people, they desire material things. But you are so kind that you give that material thing to them also. And then he says, actually, I am also like them. Though I criticize such people, but actually I also worship you for material things. You know why? I want a wife. So Kardamuni is expressing his heartfelt desires. I want a wife. I want to marry a girl of a similar disposition who can fulfill all the desires of married life. So then Lord may say, but why don't you worship me without material desires? You just said that less intelligent people worship you to get their desires fulfilled, but why are you not worshipping me without any material desires? Kardamuni says, actually, I am bound by the instructions given by Brahmaji. I am not asking wife for myself. This is service which is given to me by Brahmaji, service of procreation. And therefore it is said, actually Brahma is not also at fault. ब्रह्मा जी की गलती नहीं है मेरे को मटेरियल भौतिक जगत में डाल रहे हैं. It is not a fault because he is echoing your words. You want this creation to be fulfilled with people, with living entities. So therefore, it is your desire, oh my Lord. That's why I'm asking you. So then after this, Lord may say, but if you want material sense gratification, then what will happen to you? You will get entangled. He says, no, please give me that benediction also. I should not get entangled in this material world. And after this service, I want to get the highest destination. I want to get your pure mercy, causeless mercy. So actually Kardamuni, he just was doing it to get, he did all the tapasya to get a wife, because from that wife he wanted to procreate, and then after having children, Kardamuni, he wished to retire from his family life, and that is what actually Kardamuni did. Kardamuni, as soon as Kapiladev was born, he left. So devotee in our service also, as a householders or people who are engaged in some project, we have to deal with the material objects. We have to deal with the material things. But devotee's consciousness is he does not want to enjoy material things. He wants to use everything in service of Krishna. That is the purpose of a devotee. Everything for Krishna's service. One time, one devotee brought a picture of a famous sadhu to Prabhupada, and there was a huge pile of money kept, and this sadhu was doing like this. Prabhupada said, "Take another picture. Put a pile of money. I'll do like this." Prabhupada said, I know how to use everything in Krishna's service. That is called real renunciation. That is called yukta vairagya. Anasaktasya vishayan yatharham upayunjata nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. That is called yukta vairagya. And then, but it may be asked, but why do you criticize others' material desires? What fame and happiness do the detached devotees have, giving sorrow to their fathers? So Lord is saying, Arey Baba, if people, they become detached from their family, their parents, they suffer so much. What will they get? Why are they giving so much pain to their parents? In the beginning days of ISKCON, when Prabhupada was, telling devotees to join, so many parents, they would come and they would, cry, and they would give all the abuses. One time, Hridayanand Maharaj's mother came, and she was not so much happy because Hridayanand Maharaj had joined. But when she came, Prabhupada was speaking to her in such a wonderful, sweet way. She became completely, overwhelmed. She became like a small girl in front of Prabhupada. And she was accepting whatever Prabhupada was saying. That was the power of Prabhupada. He was an expert in dealing with people. And then she came down and she said, "Hey, what can I do to serve your mission? Can I give you some donation?" And Hridayanand Maharaj was amazed. This lady, sometime back, she was really against, and now she is giving donation. Father of Giriraj Maharaj, he came to meet Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada dealt with him in such a nice way. He became very happy. And as he was going, he said, "Your spiritual master has two wonderful qualities. He knows how to deal with people, and he knows how to deal with money. He knows how to run this organization. He's a great organizer, and he knows how to deal with people." So Brahmaji is asking, this Lord may tell Kardam Muni, what will this, people who renounce everything, they are giving so much pain to their parents and the fathers. What is the benefit they are getting? Kardam Muni says, actually, if they become surrendered soul, they'll be liberated. Their whole family will become liberated. Lokam shalokan ugatam pashumsha hitva shritaste charanat patram parasparam tad gunavad sidu piyush nirya pitadeh dharma. So he says, people who are all stereotyped, involved in all the worldly affairs, if somebody gives up all this and takes shelter of your lotus feet, charanat patram, at patram is umbrella. If somebody takes the umbrella, shelter of the umbrella of your lotus feet, and they drink the nectar of Krishna Katha, which is going on, which is being told by your devotees, what will happen? Niryapit deha dharma. They'll be free from the bodily identification. So, and then he says, actually, time does not affect the devotees. As in the second canto also we discussed, with every rising and setting of the sun, the life of a materialist is decreasing, but a devotee is coming close to Krishna. So then Kardamuni says, you are the supreme creator, maintainer, and destroyer. You are the supreme Lord. Please show mercy on me. And then he offers all his obeisances, and then he just keeps glancing and gazing at the Supreme Lord. Now Lord speaks. He is speaking with a smile of affection. That is how Lord reciprocates. In many times in Bhagavatam it comes. All the devotees, they are glorifying the Lord in so many beautiful prayers. How does Lord reciprocate? With a smile. That smile is enough. Smile is enough to satisfy everyone. Lord smiles and he says, "Oh Kardam Muni, oh my son, whatever you have asked is already granted. मांगने से पहले आपको दे दिया मैंने. Your desires will be fulfilled. The desires of people like you. You serve me in such a devotional way. They never get frustrated. So that's how we have to understand. Even if we have some material desires, Krishna will fulfill the material desires, but he'll fulfill in such a way that will not ask for the same thing again. So then Lord tells, Swayambhuva Manu is ruling this whole Bhumandala. He will come day after tomorrow with his wife to see you. He has a very beautiful, grown up, very qualified daughter called Devahuti. Her parents will come and they'll give their daughter to you. She is very exactly suitable for you. She has all the qualities which you have desired in your wife. She will serve you with all her hearts. She will fulfill all your desires to your heart content. She will give birth to 9 daughters, and through them, these daughters will marry the sages and beget children. And then Lord says, you asked me to show my mercy. Actually, you will attain me. You will be free from your family life. You will attain me at last. And then he says, actually, I shall also manifest myself as a plenary portion as Kapila Deva through Devahuti, and I will teach this Sankhya philosophy to Devahuti. And then after speaking this, Lord departed. As Lord was departing, Kardamuni was looking at the Lord as he was going in his airplane. Just like, when Krishna was leaving Dwarka, Mathura, Vrindavan, and he was going to Mathura, all the gopis, they were gazing till the last moment, till the last dust is being raised, they were gazing. As Lord Ram was departing for the forest, Dashrath Maharaj was gazing. Similarly, Kardamuni was gazing at the Lord as he was departing, he was going in his airplane. And then, after this, Lord departed, and the sages. And one more thing happened, as Lord was departing on the Garuda, when he was flapping the wings, when the Garuda flaps his wings, what happens? The vibration which comes from the Garuda's wings is the vibration of Samaveda. So beautiful hymns were coming out of the wings of Garuda, and Kardamuni was hearing all these beautiful vibrations. And then Lord departed, and then Kardamuni was waiting for the arrival of Manu, and then on the appointed day, predicted day, Swayambhuva Manu came. And then they arrived at the place where Kardamuni was staying. That place is called Bindu Sarovar. Why it is called Bindu Sarovar? Because this Bindu Sarovar, it was formed by the tears of Lord. When Lord came and he saw the beautiful exalted devotion of Kardamuni, he wept tears of ecstasy. He went into bliss. Lord became blissful, so that is described. And so that place is called Bindu Sarovar. And then there is a whole description of Bindu Sarovar, how it was very pleasing atmosphere. It was full of very pious trees. The Saraswati river was flowing nearby. It was very pure, auspicious, and it was worshipped by great sages. Birds and the bees were there, beautiful trees and the animals, they all are described. And then after that, Kardamuni, as he arrives, Swayambhuva Manu, as he arrives, Kardamuni gets up and he welcomes Swayambhuva Manu. Now the bodily features of Kardamuni is described. So the body of Kardamuni was shining, He was not emaciated. Although he was doing lots of tapasya, but still he was not emaciated because he had got darshan of the Lord. He had heard the words of the Lord. We go to this Govardhan Parikrama, there is a Puchurika Lautha Baba. Although when Krishna was going, he asked, Hare Krishna, where are you going? He said, I'll come back in a few days, don't worry. He said, till the time you don't come, I'm not going to eat anything, not going to drink anything. He said, don't worry, I'll come. You wait. And this Puchurika Lautha Baba, he is waiting. But still, you see, he is very, very fat. How he is fat? Because he is nourished by the remembrance of Krishna. So Kardamuni, he was also nourished by the austerity, by darshan of the Lord, by the words of the Lord. And he had a very tall body, beautiful lotus-like eyes. And it is described that his body, he was covered with dust. It was looking as if like an unpolished gem. So then, as he saw Swayambhuva Manu, he offered his obeisances, he received him with kind words, he gave him a place to sit. And then he started speaking. Kardamuni speaks that, O Swayambhuva Manu, You are such a great king. You actually assume various forms of devatas. You are protecting this whole world as Agni. You are so very invincible. You are the lord of this entire Bhumandala. He glorified Swayambhuva Manu a lot. And then he said, if you are not there, if you are not protecting this whole earth, the irreligious principles will grow. Whole world will become irreligious. You are maintaining the religion on this earth. Please tell me why you have come here. What can I do for you? So here the 21st chapter ends. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. If anybody has any questions, they can ask. What did Shweta Varaha do if in the 6th Manvantara Varahadev lifted earth? Why did in the first Manvantara earth? Yeah, actually the earth, whole Bhumandala, it went down twice. In the first Manvantara also, the earth had gone down. Whole Bhumandala had gone down in the Garbhuda Koshan. That's why Shvetavaraha appeared and lifted the mother earth. Again in the 6th Manvantara, again the earth fell down. So again Varahadev appeared as Nilvaraha. As a Grihastha, Lord has given responsibility of family and many other responsibilities. So what is wrong in asking from the Lord? No, there is no problem. There is no problem in asking from the Lord. Where else we'll go? We have to ask. We have to be true to ourselves. We cannot be artificially behaving as a pure devotee. We have to ask the Lord. Whatever we need, we have to ask the Lord. That is what is required, because we have to act at our level. We cannot imitate a pure devotee, otherwise we'll be frustrated. If we have some need, if we want something, we can ask the Lord. But at the end of our prayers, if it is too much of materialistic prayer, of course, if we are praying for the welfare of our family and children, and that is not a mixed, that does not make us impure. The verse Anyabhilashita Shunyam, why Rupa Goswami used this word Anyabhilashita, not Anyabhilasha? There's a difference. Anyabhilasha means there is no abhilasha than to serve the Lord. Anyabhilashita means a devotee can pray for their personal preservation and welfare for their family members. That does not make them impure. So of course we have to pray, just like now so many devotees, they are also falling sick because of this disease. You have to pray for them. That is a part of our devotion. But if something is obviously materialistic, I have an iPhone 11 Pro chahiye. So if that is a prayer, and if you cannot live without it, okay, you ask from the Lord somehow, kuch to karke dila do Bhagwan. But at the end you have to offer this. You should tell, oh my Lord, I don't know what to ask. That's why I'm asking this. So please give me that. But in the future, please give me the intelligence so that I can ask for the right thing. So that is how we have to be true. We have to be honest. But at the same time, we should know what is the ideal which is expected of us, and we should pray to the Lord that please give me the intelligence so that I can ask for the right thing in future. So how was the Lord Shiva created? We discussed that Brahmaji, when he created 4 Kumaras, he told them to procreate. The 4 Kumaras said, "Humko nahi jana hai, grihastha nahi banna hai, we want to join Brahmacharya ashram." So they refused. They said, "We don't want to get entangled in the family life. We are already absorbed in Brahman." Brahmaji became angry, and because he became angry, but he tried to control his anger. So his anger came manifested from the middle of his eyebrows as a small child, Neela Lohita. Neela Lohit means red and bluish complexion. That is Lord Shiva. That is Rudra. That is a Rudra manifestation, like that. Okay. Anybody has any other questions? Or we'll stop. Okay, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.